Hi, I'm Charlotte and this is Tired Mama Tries to Read. If you can hear a cacophony of dogs, it's because Eddie barked and then next door barked. Now everywhere is barking, so he's been shut in the house, I'm afraid. This is... I can hear them. If you can't, then that's great. Okay, so I was tagged by Doris from Aldi Books. She's awesome, and hello to all of my new subscribers that came from her channel. I am so grateful. I'm so happy that I've got more viewers, just because it feels really supportive. So I am enormously grateful. She did an amazing mid-year sort of review so far, so I'm just going to copy exactly what she did and answer all the questions. I am going to cheat a little bit and include some books I read last year, because I've only been doing this vlog for about 2 months, so I don't want to be repeating the same books over and over and be boring. Favourite book so far. Okay, this is one of the cheats. I read this last year, but I still think it's my favourite book from the last few years, and that is A Little Life by Yanagihara. I knew I'd get that wrong, I've been practising. Yeah, this is amazing. It's gut-wrenching. I lived in this book. I was obsessed with this book. I still think about it. It's long, but you won't care. In fact, you won't want it to end. It's a whole other world. It's a bit like what... almost a bit like what George Eliot does when she writes Middlemarch, or even, you know, Dickens to a certain extent. They just absorb you into this world, and that's exactly what happens in this book. I can't recommend it more. If it can grip somebody who basically didn't read for a year enough to finish it, I think I read it in a few weeks, then you know it's a good one. Next one is Best Sequel. Yeah, again, I'm going to cheat because I don't tend to read series. This is, for me, the best series has been the Neapolitan Novels by Elena Ferrante. So this is book 2 of that series, which is The Story of a New Name. All 4 books are amazing. You won't regret reading them. New release you're anxious to get to. So anxious, I've actually already read it, but I was anxious for ages for There, and I was so happy when it arrived. I was not disappointed, as you can see by the review I filmed. Most anticipated reads for the second half of the year, probably Michelle Obama's book. So I don't think it's come out yet. I hope it hasn't, because that's not very in the know if I'm saying I'm anticipating something that's already here. I'm pretty sure it's out later in the year. I'm very interested to read that. I read Hillary Clinton's book, What Happened, and I had mixed feelings about that, so hopefully Michelle Obama will be more up my street. Biggest disappointment of the year. I'm sorry, but it's Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste. I know, everybody loved it, so I feel what happened when I read mine. I couldn't even finish it. That is not good. It took me a whole other video to explain why. Long and the short of it is I just didn't relate to the characters in the forefront of the book. I wanted more on the characters in the background of the book. So I was really interested in Bebe and her struggle as a Chinese immigrant. I wasn't as interested in the rich hoi polloi family that's one of the main sort of focuses. Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed the point. So we'll move on. Biggest surprise was Sight by Jessie Greengrass, because I'd never heard of her, and the book was just a total impulse buy, and it was brilliant. Fav New Author is got to be Olivia Laing. I've got 2 other books of hers. So one is on loneliness and one is on Virginia Woolf. So I'm going to try and read those this year. Fav Bookish Crush. I think this is supposed to be a character, but I definitely haven't crushed on any characters in a long, long time. So I'm just going to say Grayson Perry, because I read this last year and I do have a bit of a crush on him. Look at his hair, it's amazing. After I read this book, I basically cut my hair to look like his. And if that isn't dedication, I don't know what is. Favourite character is probably Elena from the Brilliant Friend series. I also did love Lena. Lila. She's got 2 names in the book. I could relate to both of them and saw myself in both of them, so I loved that. Book that made you cry. Crudo and There had me welling up, but I didn't actually cry, I'm afraid. Book that made you happy was Off the Shelf, a collection of poetry about bookshops. Book to film adaptation. I haven't read any, to be honest. Not ever. I mean, I have read some in my life, but not any recently. Favourite videos you've done is my first one. It was a big deal for me. I just thought everyone would think that I was that it was really sad that I was doing it, and that I would, I must love myself to do a video, and it just wasn't any of those things. It was a really big deal. I suffer from anxiety, and yeah, that was one of my tick-off boxes for trying to get past it. So definitely my first video, which has now got over 100 views. So incredible. Book with a beautiful cover. Why I'm no longer talking to white people about race. An amazing cover. I think it's going to be kind of like a watershed moment in covers, because I've already seen a few that are trying to copy it. So that's cool. And the book you need to read, The Luminaries. Oh, yeah, I really need to read it. I have read The Rehearsal by Eleanor, but I never delved into this, and I've only just realised I got this in 2013. That's 5 years ago. So bad. I need to read it. If you've read it, let me know if it's worth going through, because my time is very limited. So that is a hell of an investment if it doesn't turn out very well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag, well, I think Siani Reads, whose account I'll put a link to, and she's kind of done some wrap-ups about books she's read. So I don't expect her to do this, but I would love you to check out her channel because it's awesome. She's the one who inspired me to do this at all. She's just amazing. Her books she recommends are amazing. Her reviews are really cool. Yeah, we've never met, but I feel like we have. So yeah, go to her page. And my lovely friend, Emily, she started an Instagram blog about books, and she reads books. She reads tons and tons and tons of books. I'll put a link to it because her avatar is Llyfrgell Emily. So that's a bit of a bit Welsh to just look up yourself. So I'll put a little link, but it's really good. She doesn't reviewed any Welsh books so far. It's mostly English language, so there'll be something for everyone. And yeah, just check her out and give her some support. Okay, I'm all done here, and I'll leave you to it. And the next one will maybe be when I bought some more new books. We'll see. Bye.